Good day, Tamers. This is I, Iggy Swiftly. It's been a long weekend. From Thursday to Monday, I have not been here. I've been in Birmingham. I've gone back home. I'm originally from Solihull. I was at the NEC, it's technically in Solihull. And yeah, it's been a long weekend. So, traveling down Thursday afternoon, getting to Birmingham for like 10 to 3 ish, something like that. Hotel booked for free, get in at 3, throw my bags in there, and then realised like I can't do anything for like hours. So I sat in the room, did my deck list, made sure it was okay. Had a friend who was like, "Yeah, if you need anything, man, let me know. I can bring it down." I was like, "Yo, if you got some War Greymons, man, so anything I can't pick up, I've only got one of them. I need another one. If you get it to me, I'll play War Greymon on Friday for regional. I like the deck; it's really fun." Yeah, man, no problem, no problem. So that's that. So everything's like, all right, deck list is basically sorted until tomorrow. So go for a meal, go for a Korean barbecue. It's nice. I had some ramen, didn't have the barbecue. Enjoyed it. Good. Went back to the hotel room, had some mocha tea, really good. And then, well, mocha tea ice cream, really, really good with Oreo bits and chocolate sauce. I'm not a fat guy, I swear. That was that then. Then after that, back to the hotel room, relaxed, tried to get a good night's sleep. I think I was in bed for like 11 and then didn't fall asleep till like half 1. Usual night before things. Friday comes around, get up, shower. I don't want one of those stinky players. I want to actually smell decent. Get down to the train station for like 7ish, just after 7. Get the next train, get into NEC for like half 7. Walking down, if you go into the exposition centre, there's a double metal detector. And so I walk through the metal detector. I get probably like 3 or 4 meters away from the metal detector. Beep, 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 beep. Turn around. There's a lady behind me. Yeah, cool. No problem. Next thing I know, sir, can you step to the side, please? We suspect you got something in your bag that you shouldn't have. Bit strange, but yeah, sure, no problem. Move over, put stuff down. Chap who's there goes, "Oh, what's in the bag?" I went, "In this bag, which is my suitcase, just some clothes and a charger. In this bag, it's got my stuff that I'm carrying to the event for today. So I had both my decks in there because couldn't really leave one in the hotel room because I wasn't going back to it. Okay. So we're standing there for like 30 seconds. He's like, "You gonna open your bag then?" I was like, "I don't know about you guys. I've never ever had a bag check at a metal detector point where you open your bag. It's always been a case of like, what's in there? Because obviously you don't want to surprise them. And you open it up and they're like, yeah, everything's fine. Check it. So I opened it up, moved the clothes around. I was like, see, nothing in there. Just a charger. I was like, do you want to look at the other bag? He says, yeah. So I opened it up. Luckily, I've got the extra shell bag from Ultimate Guard, I think it is, where you basically just crack it fully open so you can just open it. So I literally went crack, crack. Said, yeah, there's my 2 decks. There's my mat, some metal dice, bits and bobs. And it's like, do you need to look inside? Because like when you went to the airport, we came back from Germany, some people had to have their decks open and checked. He was like, nah, I trust you. I was like, okay. So close everything back up, pop everything back in, go down, get down there. I'm like 10th in place. There's not too many people in front of me. Get in there, wait till 8, doors open, we go in. We have to go around the barricades because we're all civilized people because we live in the UK. And I get to the counter. And it's like, oh, what are you here for? I said, I'm here today, and I'm here today to play Digimon. So, okay. It was easy tickets. She goes, oh, there's a ticket for Sunday. I said, yes, I haven't brought the main ticket as I haven't got my card with me. I need to have information sent over because for whatever reason my phone hasn't got my information. She was like, okay, that's no problem. I said, you can do contactless here if you want. I was like, yeah, do contactless then. So I got that sorted out, got my cards. So I got my stuff for Friday and Sunday sorted out. Walked straight into the venue. Because last year, pretty much as soon as doors open, you just walk straight in. There was no issue like that. So for us, it was no issue. I think it was the other way around. I think it was a bit of an issue for the organisers. So we walk in. I walked in. Those are the judges because I know the judges fairly well because I've hung out with them, not on a professional level, but in a setting like this before. And like, what's going on, guys? And it's like, what are you doing here? Playing Digimon. No. What are you doing here? Playing Digimon. And then one of the other judges went like, no, how did you get in here? I was like, I came in. And like, no one stopped you? I was like, no, I just walked in. I'm like, well, at least it's you and not somebody else. 'Cause obviously, we've worked together. I've casted with them before, so obviously realised, like, I ain't gonna cause you problems. I don't, I want to complain. I want to have an easy, relaxing day. So I go to my actual judge friend who's bringing these War Greymons. I'm like, yo, you got the stuff? He's like, yeah, man, it's in my bag. It's in my bag. All right, just let me have the stuff when you're ready. He looks at me, he goes, wait, hold on, what stuff? I'm like, the War Greymons. He's like, what War Greymons? Like, when I asked you yesterday to bring the stuff, you said you had it with you. He goes, oh man, I forgot. So yes, let's go back to the old like BT8 Black War Greymon deck that doesn't do a lot, to be fair. I think its only good matchup is like Hunters, or maybe X Hearts, because you just pop the Tamers and you go like, nope, don't care. You don't wait for the save, basically, you just pop the Tamers. And they're like, oh no. Oh yes, good day for me, but not so much for you. So, oh, excuse me, still tired. Lots of early mornings this weekend. And then, yeah, got the stuff sorted, came in, and, put my deck together. I was like, all right, I'm going to have to play this then. And I said, like, hey, look, I've got my deck for Sunday here, and it's a totally different deck. Is it okay to be in my bag? Because I know some places are really fun about having like two like extra cards and stuff, especially because there's no side decks, I think, in Digimon. Like, no, it should be fine. Just obviously they're in two different boxes, so it's not as though it's like, oh, you're sharing a box or anything. I think it should be fine. So there you go. So I mean, super early because obviously I shouldn't be there, but I am. So chat with the judges, having a bit of a laugh and everything, just sitting down while they're sorting out like internet problems for the event because massive hall, but like there's no signal because the signal's like bouncing around everywhere. They get everything sorted. Next thing you know, it's like 9 o'clock. Everyone else can come in, and that's that. All good. No real issues. Like 9:30, I think we start. I think we get our pairings up. We do the judge like announcement thing of like, hey everyone, thanks for being here. This is the event for today. Have a great. We should be having a great day. Don't worry about it. But we'll jump into, everything else. So just the whole like, put your hand up, shout judge. And then obviously Red Scar's just like, nah, it's not good enough. Do it again. Right, 3, 2, 1, judge. Everyone's clapping. We're all clapping, we're all shouting, we're all cheering. Have a good time. Digimon players are generally pretty good when it comes to like having like a laugh and obviously having like a bit of banter. It's not super serious like some other card games, which it's nice, it's refreshing. So we're going through. My first opponent is the person who came 19th in the region that I came 18th in. I know them anyway, so I was like, yo, I thought you were my opponent. You used to see the names obviously on the thing. I was like, oh, what are you playing? He says, I'm playing the same thing again. Well, he used to play All Force, so I was like, you playing All Force today? He's like, no, I'm playing Red Hybrid. I was like, okay, so what are you playing? So I'm playing Black Hawk Greymon. Shuffle up, go, opening hand. It's like 3 megas, an option card, and like a level 5. Like, I can't really like give him that much memory. So alright, I'm on a good shuffle, hand. 2 option cards and like 3 megas. I'm like, I'm not going first. I was like, I can't play this hand. I'm just like, yeah, no problem. No, I'll go second, luckily. I was like, oh, phew. Drew a rookie. I could like build half a stack. I couldn't build anything with like protection. Move down, try and swing, do what I can. First game, I think he got me down to 0 and like swung for gain. I think I got him down to like 2 or 3. Round 2, game 2, it's the same thing again. Open up hand is like 5. It was like 4 like level 5s and like a level 6. I was like, I think I was going first. I was like, I can't live on this. Shuffle back in, got back out. I think I got 3 level 5s and 2 option cards. I'm like, oh my god, I'm stuck. I think I was going first again. I think I actually went first that time. So I was like, here's a Metal Greymon. He's like, whoa. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's how good my hand was. And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, Mulligans didn't help either of these games. And he was like, he would. And he just stormed, like, he just walked off. I was like, that's really weird because we know each other, we do talk. And it's like strange that he didn't like want to have a bit of banter or anything like that. And went over to like, because he was like Red Hybrid, like quick games, like it was like 15 minutes kind of for 2 games. And walked over to the judge, like, where's the best place to sit? Because I don't want to like walk off somewhere, like not be able to hear the answers. He's like, oh, I'll just sit over sort of in the corner. As I go to the corner, he's there. I was like, you're all right, what's going on? He goes, oh man, you bricks, like, it ain't fun when you're winning because your opponent doesn't get to play. I was like, yes, it's the card game, random number generator game. It's going to happen sometimes. That's no problem. So going to my second round, so I went from table 17 to like table like 64. Like, okay. Oh, we're not playing against. My opponent was playing War Greymon, which is the deck I wanted to play, which is horrible because it's literally the counter to Black War Greymon. So, what do you do? So I'm there, like, build up my stack, get them down to like 1 security, and then, they just get to do the whole War Greymon thing, which is punch you in the head, pierce you, do 2 checks. They've got Metal Greymon and Exit to bring in the mix. And then they swing again for 2 more checks. That's 4 checks. And then I think they had a Agumon on field. Swing the Agumon, and I think they Omnimon to game. I was like, okay, that's disturbingly more. Oh, and they didn't even have to play the deck. So I had to teach them how to play the deck, which was obviously the more painful thing. And then, same thing happened in game 2 because that's just what that deck does. And it's like, I hate playing non-games because I had a game where I physically couldn't play, and I have a game where I can't do anything, so it hurts the soul. Round 3 for me was Mastimon, but a really unusual build of Mastimon, and it wasn't necessarily like, oh, it's in the bag, I should win this. It was more of a case of I just have to churn out all their stuff, so I have to make sure that they had no mirrors. I have to make sure that they could never get into Mastimon. So game 1, super quick for me. They see their pieces, but I was just blowing it up because of back all grandma stuff. So I just chipped them down over a couple of turns. Nothing they could do about it really, because they're like, "Oh, you got protection." I was like, "Yeah, I got protection." So they're like, "Okay, I'll do this." It's like, "All right, I'll move that out so it doesn't die." Game 2, I couldn't get protection or anything, and it was a case of whenever I put something down, it just got chaos decked, which is which you expect from that deck. And then they won that one because I could physically never get a piece on the field to swing. They were at 0 security for 6-7 turns. I'm like, yeah, I just never get anything on the field to stick long enough to swing for that last swing. Because whenever they had an Angel on the field, it just got even Digivolve just died. And then game 3, it was a lot more backwards and forwards, but I got them down to no security very quickly, and they were like, I can't, they just couldn't churn it out quick enough. And that was basically it for that third game. And so the weird thing was the second game we went into, it felt like it went like that. Apparently, it was a 35-minute game. The game that I went for 3 games to, it was a 25-minute game. I was like, that felt like it dragged forever. I don't know why. It was really weird. So that was that. At that point, I was like, I'm going to play some more. I want to see if I can get maybe a few more wins in, because I'm getting to the point now where it's I don't want to just drop after half a day. I want to just do stuff. And I went to the table, kind of jokingly said hey, look, because I was doing Battle Spirits in the morning. I was like, hey, you do Battle Spirits? Do you want to jump in and do Digimon when Battle Spirits finish? Because it's only going to be 4 rounds. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it. But you got to ask Tommy first. So if you didn't know, Tommy is the big organizer for OPE. He's the main dude. And Tommy was just standing next to us, oh, Tommy, I know you're going to finish Battle Spirits after round 4. Do you want me to do some commentating for you? And he goes, funny enough, I was actually going to ask you if you want to do some commentating. And I was like, drop me. I'll do some commentating. I love commentating. Commentating's so much fun.
Hello, Tamers. We are back at round 6, going against. I don't actually know what we're going against. Nagia Swiftly and Jalganetsu.
Because it's just a bit of banter with the crowd, and I love it. And I love seeing the different textiles as well. It's really good. So they've got a 4-round battle spirits. I'm like, all right, we've gone for lunch break now. So it's 12:30ish. We've gone for lunch, and they've just finished round 3 of battle spirits as well. So they're going to do 4 rounds. By the time that we've had our lunch, they should be finished. Battle spirits went for lunch at 12:30. So instead of just finishing the round off and just then having break afterwards, so they go enjoy the rest of the day, or they can go join in with the store championships that Digimon was doing. And obviously they'd finish their stream, so their streamers can go and have break and have a rest for the rest of the day. No, they basically went until our 5th round. So that if you watch the stream, that's the reason why we don't do 4 and 4, when we do 4 and 3. It's because I think they just went for a lunch break and they didn't realize what was going to happen. But it's neither here nor there. It's just funny timing wise. Love you, Tommy. So we go into round 5. Jao just says to me look, man, I'm having a bad day. If you know who Jao Getsu is, he's one of the best players in the country. He's fantastic. He's really fun. He's really lovely. He's super bubbly. He's got this really weird air about him that's just very charismatic. And he's just a joy to be around because he actually enjoys the game, and it's he's one of those expected people that it's not live or die. And he gets angry with himself. He just gets angry with everyone around him, which I can say is very different from a lot of other people who play competitively. If I do really well, fantastic. If I do really bad, sucks to be me. That's how the cookie crumbles, or the RNG works when it comes to card games. So he had a bad day. So he was like, hey, look, can I cast with you? I was like, to be fair, you can do, because you're the professional in this case. You've got multiple top wins. I think he's won 2 or 3 big events, plus other big events outside of official stuff. He's multiple top 4 winner as well. He's the guy you want to be around. And he had a really good afternoon. So we go into game 5. It's against two people I know, JJ and Jaden. Jaden comes to the locals occasionally, and JJ I know through like locals Discord stuff as well as going to Germany. Both Jaden and JJ went to Germany with us, where I went like 1-13. The perfect score. So yeah, those guys were playing against each other, and I said I think it's on stream. You might just be, I might have said it just before the stream started. I have very little information about hunters. I don't know a lot about hunters. I've had very little time for this set in terms of like just sitting down and reading, just because I haven't had time for this set. Like I didn't play the Beelzemon deck until last Sunday. To be fair, it probably does show how good it is if the fact like I hadn't read any of the new cards and was still getting like top 18. So that was that. And yeah, the first game is Red Hybrid versus Hunters. Red Hybrid I know 90% about. I think it's the fact like where things are like when deletion do this on the newer cards. Again, BT12 is that set I just haven't had time for. Work's been super busy, home's been hectic. It's just, and like a lot of the kids have been off as well, so it's like holiday into holiday into holiday. And it's like, oh goddamn kids, just go to stay at school for 5 minutes so I can do some reading. So that's that. That round happens. Red Hybrid does Red Hybrid things, and the Hunter player just can't get enough going. Which is how it is. And then I think game 2 they do the same thing again, where it's like, yeah, you can block me if you want to, but I'm going to gain 9 memory, or you can let me win the game. So the Hunter player was just at a loss of sense of like, damn, yeah, just too quick, couldn't do anything about it. So that's that. So JJ wins, Jaden goes down. Round 6 happens, and side note just for this, the person who played the Red Hybrid in round 7 went against JJ, and JJ lost. And then I think our match was also Red Hybrid into Hunters, I think was the matchup. Was it? My brain's gone dead now. Oh god, was it? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, because we had the deck list for that one. It was Hunters versus Red Hybrid, which again, like I know very little about Hunters, unfortunately. Like I just haven't had time to like essentially do casting work and like just spend a couple of hours with the deck and just like go through it and be like, okay, what does this do? What does that do? I've got the cards, just haven't looked at the deck, and so that is that. Red Hybrid wins again because it's just such a good deck. So when we get to like the last one, it's 3 undefeated people. So it's the 2 Red Hybrids, the one that we had on stream and the one that won the game before, and then a Bloom Lord, sorry. Get to the final round. It's Saf versus Uzan. It'll be on the stream. My brain's dead. I did use Staff. It'll be on the channel in a day or two, or maybe later today if I can get the deck list. So that was that, and then like they played against each other. Obviously, saw the misplay or whatever you want to say. It was on stream. I'm not going to call out cheating because maybe he didn't really consider it. Maybe he didn't think about the effects, so it was all suspended. He just thought, oh, because it's all suspended, it triggers the effect. Like, whatever. But yeah, that was a fairly good game. Obviously, to a degree, that was kind of the only play that person had to do where they could actually like not lose on the spot. And obviously, it got them into game 3. But then game 3 was a case of like just absolutely perfect precision from Saf. And I'll go through that when we do the deck list thing. And it was fantastic. It was great. We finished at like 5:30. Everyone who like did well got their prizing. It was really good. Obviously, it was regional, so regionals is not the best pricing, but you feel good when you win. Not as good as America, where you get your invite to Worlds. But obviously, having open Worlds in Europe, it's nice that somebody like me, who is not always fantastical, can still go and actually have fun at one of these weekend events. And that was Friday. Saturday, quiet day away from the event. Did family stuff, and then Sunday got down there, and I'm playing Beelzemon because I literally have nothing else to bring. Well, I lie. I could have brought Gallatmon, but it's like I know that deck has like no good matchups really at the moment because it's Gallatmon. Like it's got no protection. It falls over to a light breeze, and if you don't swing and win in that one shot, you can't win the game. Now, when it comes to EX4 Mildramon, then we'll see if I can get this deck to work and like do some stuff because you swing hard. So I'm going. Yeah, I'll play Beelzemon. I know it's weekend right now. Pagumon is not a good card in that stack. I lost games multiple times because I milled myself out because Pagumon was the lowest, was the baby basically. If Yama was the baby, I'd have won games. In comparison, that was the issue. My opponent killed the big stack. I had 2 cards left or 1 card left in the deck. Pagumon was the bottom source, and that. So, to be fair, my opponents never asked. I just told them what happened. So I think they were surprised that they won a couple of times. But yeah, like Pagumon is a bad card. If you're running the new Beelzebub stuff because it's not working very well. But my matchups were Beelzy to Beelzy. They rolled highest. They went first. They got the extra swing, which means they win. And that's how that matchup normally works. Round 2, I went against Cell, which is a Discord friend of mine who I've only finally just met after like 2 years. And she's playing her friend's version, which had Psychmons in, which makes sense. But like I don't think she ever got to use them. So I went up into first game, absolute stump, unfortunately for her. I just did like everything you want from a Beelzebub. And then game 2, I would have won if she didn't kill my stack, and then I build myself out. And you know, as I always say, like it's better to lose and be the winner for losing than it is to lose and be a cheater, because there's no point cheating. So I said to her, like, "Oh look, you've milled me out. You win game 2." And she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, you've won game 2." She's like, "Oh." And then game 3, it came down to like something very similar, where like I couldn't keep anything on board because she just kept popping everything, and so I was having to like, bring back things I could. So she popped like Beelzemon, X Antibody, so I brought back an Impmon. The only one I had in stack was the when you die, you mill yourself 3 cards, and it was like, oh crap. So yeah, it was a really weird game. So I only had those in there, and the X Antibody ones, and obviously you can only bring back the normal named ones. So it's like crap. So I had to keep bringing back the normal named ones, and I had a Bellstar on there because I just needed to keep something on board because you just kept blowing my stuff up. And it got to the point where, like, because every time, like, you just kill the Impmon, I obviously milled 3 cards. It turns out, like, all my Impmons were either, like, or just in my security, as per usual, because that's the Impmon things. So maybe security Impmons might be a thing, but the amount of, like, cards at the moment, they just pop your security and don't care. It's just ridiculous. Round 3 was against Gallantmon, and I was technically paired up because they had a 0-1 record, so they drew their last round. Fairly nice chap, but essentially it was a case of like I didn't have a deck for this meta, and I borrowed one from a friend, which seems to be the cause on Sunday. And they essentially went like, "Hey, look, I don't know what this deck really does," and they were playing Gallantmon. I said, "Oh shit!" And he's like, "Why? What's up?" And I said, like, essentially, like your deck should do very well into my deck because it's like the counter matchup. But it's one of those cases of like, if I don't get to the trash point where you need me to be, you can't win. He's like, okay. So he does all like the new stuff where like he goes up for like the cost of like 2 basically, and then like swings out with Blitz, goes back to his turn, goes up into X Antibody, goes to 0, gets done to spend, then goes into Crimson Mode and swings again. So it gets me down to like 2 security. But at this point, it's like I've got like 20 trash, and like I just go straight up into Beelzy. So I'm going to Beelzy, and oh, no, I've got like 1 left. He's going to Beelzy. So I've gone to Beelzy, Digivolved. I think he's at 3. He's at 3 or 4. So I think he's at 3. I think I hit through 2 of his cards, and it's like a Gallantmon and a Groundmon. And then I go into X Antibody, and he goes, all right, pop, pop. So it pops the 2 cards left, and then it's blast mode for game. That's not so bad. Second game is a bit slower on his side. I think he's having issues getting a rookie out or something, or like is level 5. So I get a couple of chips in with Impmons, and then I get trying to think what else he does then. But I've got like a couple of Impmons out at this time, as well as a BLZ X Antibody on the field already, and like something like a card in breeding area. So you know I'm going to win next game kind of thing. So I took him down to like no security, but I couldn't get the final swing in because I think I was looking for. I think I'd Blast Reaver still in the deck, or I couldn't get access to him because they were in the trash, but I didn't have rivals. So he's got me down to 0 security in his turn. I said, oh sorry, he had 1 left. I only had 1 swing left, and he had, and I was down to 0, so he goes to my turn. So I said to him, okay then. So I swing into security, kills it. And I didn't have, that's it, I didn't have the imp at the time. The imp was the next turn. So the imp was the turn that turn. So do an egg, go to imp, swing out with Beelzy. Beelzy doesn't die. And I go, okay then, rivals from my hand. Pop your highest thing, which is, well, the only thing on the field anyway was the Crimson Mode. Crimson Mode dies. And because at the time I was at 27, when he swung, I was at 27, and when I went into then by the time I swung out with the extra like sources removal, it was 31 rather. And he says, okay then. So he goes to his turn. I've given him like 5 memory. He goes, plays down like one of the 4 cost Groundmons. Digivolves as the X Antibody. and then swings. And I was like, oh, you got game. I was like, oh, you can't swing. You haven't got rush. And he goes, oh no, I've got rush. I was just like, oh, I guess you win then. I said, you were really unfortunate to be fair, because I knew I had like removal on my hand anyway. So I said, like, unless you could get like an additional body on the field that I couldn't get rid of, you'd have been stuck. He was like, oh, okay. I said, well, did you have that? And I said, I could have popped a level 3 on my turn, and I could have popped your mega, your level 7. He's like, okay. He said, well, did I play it wrong? Because he was asking, because I said to him, like, I love Gallimon, what should I do? Is there anything I could have done to play it better? I said, to be fair, you played as best you could, but the issue you had is the fact, like, I know where, like, I was going to be in terms of trash. And that's the issue with Gallimon, is you need to, like, sort of, like, make it so your opponent's trash is always a bit more fuller, so you can swing with Crimson mode and just take the game, because I didn't have the Wizard into Wizard X, so I couldn't block. And he was like, thank you for the information, it's nice to know. And that was my game 3. And then game 4, I was against Shine Greymon, and he had like a really bad game 1 where like he couldn't get his Tamers out quick enough. And then game 2, I had the misfortune of doing what I did essentially in the next round, which is pulling all the Tamers out of his security with like Itmons. So the Itmons don't die, so I'm not getting trash. But obviously they're there for another turn. And I think when he starts digivolving up, I think it gets to the point where he has to start popping Itmons. So I start crashing. It's like, oh yes, nice, I got 20 trash now. Swing out, do the thing, pop security, go into blast mode, swing out and win. And that was that. So we had a nice conversation about like Shine and how it's going to be in the next couple of metas, because it does get a good amount of meta change now. And that was that. Following game, I went into Red Hybrid, and he's like, oh, I've absolutely bricked, man, I can't do anything because I've got no Tamers. And it's like, yeah, like I hear that like the deck needs the Tamers to do stuff. Both games, man, first 3 checks, Tamer from security. And I'm like, when you shouldn't lose games because you're playing correctly, and you just lose because like all your opponents gets free access to Tamers that have now are now active on their turn, it does feel very bad. Especially because BLZ doesn't have Tamer removal or anything like that. Like you don't run like a Lucy mode, which you probably could, to be fair, because you do have a lot of trash. And then that was like game 1. Game 2, again, he's like, nothing I could do, kind of thing. First check, red memory boost. Okay, at least you can't search with it. Second check, Tamer. Third check, Tamer. Fourth check, Tamer. And it's like, the hell do you do, man? Like, you have to hope that your like removals in security as Bialzy, which you don't like anyway. I think he swings into something, and the first check is like blast mode. And it's like, man. It's like, yeah, you still got like 5 more checks though. Second thing he checks with, it's like Itmon into Itmon. It's like, okay. Third thing he checks with, it's like Itmon into Iron Maker or something like that. And it's just like, oh man, like it's good knowing that I had all these bodies ready to go to like try and win next turn. And it's like, yeah, you just get access to all your swings now. It's like, it just feel bad. Like that's the one thing I do dislike about any hybrid deck, to be fair, is the fact like at any second you're going to lose because the game mechanics are that way inclined. Which, cry more about it, but yeah, it's just one of the things I don't like. Like, your opponent should never be able to get free advantage because they're on the back foot. It's just something I always find really weird. And then final game was Machinimon, which is just like there's no point playing this game because BLZ just can't deal with Machinimon. The second there's a Machinimon on the field, you lose, which, it's like turn 2 normally. So my opponent's like kind of like giving lots of, because he had like he went 1-1-3 at that point, so he had like a really weird day, and it's like he went against 2 other Machinimons, and they just basically did the metapod thing of staring at each other for like 45 minutes. So that was like that. And he was like, you say he was obviously disapproved of himself, so he was like very and like he wasn't really happy to be there. But it's a case of like, I can't beat you. And he kept going like, oh, you just got to pop up my security, what's the point? And it's like, how am I going to pop up your security? I have to swing with this, I have to like smash into you with my 12k Bialzimon. And he's like, well, why don't you go to X antibody? I was like, how? And he goes, just go into it. I was like, how? He's like, you slot X antibody into it, and then you just did you all for 1. I was like, how? And he's like, I don't understand. It's like, we're playing Ultimate Cup. And he's like, yeah. I was like, how do I have access to X antibody? And he's like, well, what are you on about? I was like, we're playing a monocolored deck. I can't play X antibody in my deck. It's a white card. He's like, yeah. You're right. And obviously, I think his brain kicked over that. But it's like, I don't understand like where he thought he was going to lose anyway. Because again, unless I can go like 7 cards wide, which you never can, because everything just gets popped by other effects, you just never get to swing in. It's very, very annoying to like anyone. That was game 1. And then game 2 basically happened the same thing, except you went like a bit slower. So I think I got down to like 2 security left, and then you just got like Machine Digimon with Chaos X on top of it in one turn. It's just like, all right, here we go, and it's like, yeah, it's like Chaos Degradation. It's a card specifically to deal with cards like this, and it's like, I wish it wasn't at 1 in a monocolor format where you have something that can't be removed from the board, basically. And that's the biggest thing I hate about having the monocolor format and Chaos at 1 is the fact that you give all these decks that have protection a much easier time with protection, and it's like you need to you can't do that. You need to have Chaos at 4, which basically makes security control a thing again to a degree, but like it's a necessary element to a degree. So that was my weekend. So I went 2 and 4 with a deck that I knew was going to do bad, but I'm happy that I got 2 wins out of it. And then I ended up getting surprising because it was a small tournament comparison. So I ended up winning a beautiful, if I can find it, if I can find it, I'll keep chattering on a bit more. So yeah, I won a Galapmon, I won a Groundmon and a Guilmon, which I thought was really good. So these things are beautiful. And if you don't know, I love the Segoy art. So whenever we do get Segoy art stuff, I love it. So Growly Boy, Gil Boy, I only want 2 of each for the deck because I don't think you need to run it any more than 2, personally speaking. But yeah, super happy with that. Still waiting for the stuff from regional from the week before. So hopefully I'll get that, get my little marker. But no, I had a really good weekend. It was long. I'm tired as anything. But I've genuinely enjoyed myself, and that's probably the best part. So we'll catch you guys soon. This was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be because it's meant to be a recap, but apparently it's going to be a 32-minute video. So keep it cool. I'll see you Tamers next time. Peace out and goodbye.